Um, welcome. I'd like you all to introduce yourselves because I want this to be a place where you all know each other, right? So your name, how long you've been in real estate, and what brought you to KW? Fair and Scott.
Erin Scott. I have been in residential side of real estate since 2013. What brought me to Keller Williams was my boutique brokerage that I helped build and I loved so much was doing a 180 from where we initially started. And this lovely lady to my right was courting me for a couple of years. And
I'm really good at dating.
Yeah. And when that switch happens, I was like, I need to make a move. And I walked into her office with tears in my eyes and I was like, I'm ready.
Everyone cries when they come.
Huh?
She said, "Who cries?"
No, a lot of you do. You're not the only one.
I actually left a different brokerage and everything was like, no, this is not for you. This is not for you. Like, even when I was driving there, it was all gloomy and I was like, oh my God, I just feel it. Like, it's not for me. I don't know what I'm doing. And I was crying at the table, like about to sign. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And I literally walked out and drove here, there to Keller Williams and signed. So yeah, it was big and emotional and it was, it was like a divorce when I left.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it can be.
The brokers and everything, like I love them, but yeah, when you know.
Lauren A., what's your name?
My name's Lauren A. She always called me Lauren A. because Dominic's wife's name is Lauren as well. There's no other Lauren here as an agent, is
Not
there?
currently, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm Lauren A. Anyways, I have been an agent for a year. And what brought me to KW, I was actually going to go to Century 21. I knew a great agent there, one of the owners. And I walked in to do the pre-licensing prep classes with Erin. Loved her, loved the office, loved the people I met, and decided to stay.
Yeah, we won.
You won.
And that's literally why I chose you guys too.
Why?
Was because it made me feel like my boutique brokerage did.
Yeah.
When we were operating under our vision that we were supposed to be operating because everyone was just so cool and willing to help them.
Yeah, we're nice.
No a-holes. The a-holes beat themselves up.
Yeah.
Really good. That's good.
Abby Schmidt.
I'm Erin Schmidt. I've been in real estate for almost 5 years, and I'm here because of Dominic Over.
There you go. Johnny boy.
My name is John Lundwall, and I started doing some part-time stuff with Lundwall in 2020. Got my license in 2021, and I got brought here by Mark Warren, who's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, officially now.
Yes, officially.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lisa B.
It's Bolin. I'm your broker.
I hope you know.
You're stuck here.
May not know me yet, and I hope we can. Anyway, I've been in real estate since 2008, and family, it's a long history in real estate in the community. I've been here since July.
Yeah, technically.
2025. So far, so good. I came from we are the boutique brokerage.
Right.
Broker, not the same.
No, not the same one.
A different one.
No, mine wasn't from that.
Yes.
They have since disbanded.
Yes. It's crazy.
I'm Katie Kerrigan. I've been in real estate with KW my whole career for a little over 3 years. And
What brought you here? What or who?
well, we do real estate investing a little bit, and so I've always wanted to jump in and be an agent. And I didn't know how to do that, being a mom. And Cassie Lashbrook is a good friend of mine, and she did it. And we had our kids in the same activities, and she was able to do it. So
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that.
Miss Sheila.
Sheila Harper. Been 2 years, a little over 2 years, I've only been at KW, and I'm here because of my position.
Me too. AA round.
Yeah.
What's your name?
I call every Erin and ask.
I'm Erin Johnson. I have been in real estate for 3 months.
Yep.
And my brother-in-law, who's the leader of the top real estate team, Nick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's all these connections.
Really upset that you never told me that.
Like, bro, was like Chad or something?
No, so, okay, quick little fun story. Nick, okay, I met literally the day that you walked me through, I met Nick as well. He was in the office. So nice, whatever. Always called him Nick. I'm talking to him up there.
Does.
Right, because that's his name, right? there's like a table upstairs and our offices are by, so we kind of sometimes have lunch and stuff together. And we're chatting. We go back to the office. I'm like, to Soccer and Esteban, I'm like, gosh, Nick is so great. And they're like, Nick, you mean Chad? And
They are the worst.
I was like, what? And then Soccer goes, you have to go apologize. Like, this is like not good. And I was like, what? I'm like mortified. They had me for 10 minutes.
They have the
10 minutes. But funny story,
meanest.
Nick told me that Farron the next week introduced her son to Nick as Mr. Ben.
Mr. Ben works.
So now we've been calling Nick Ben. So Farron's in on the joke, he didn't even know. Well, don't worry. He did not care at all. I told him that I was gonna have to tell you. Sorry, it's on the mic, but I just told you.
Wow.
All right, let's keep it moving.
I'm actually.
Chelsea, what's your name?
That's horrible.
All right, you two.
I've been mostly for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And what brought me here was just all my past connections with a lot of different people here. Like Erin, the first time I dated my was 2 years ago. It was like one of the worst days of my life. Grandma was in the hospital. And my sister was like, come out with me and just like get your mind off it, have some drinks. And Erin was there with, there were some other girls. And I was just like crying at the table and Erin was like, I'm gonna pray for you. Just like all those little past things from the Erin, you meet my mom.
Way
in the
back.
day. So
Oh, yeah.
there's a few other people in brokerage too that I have these really good past connections with, so.
And you've been licensed for a few weeks, but you've been in real estate on the admin and title side for years. So you're not new, yes. And you, sir, you're brand new, right? Brand new to real estate? Wonderful. What's your name for all of our friends here? And how long you've been licensed? Wonderful. And you're with Keller Williams because we made you. You're with, the last question is what brought you to Keller Williams? We showed up.
They moved in.
Yeah, we moved in.
We just moved in. We're the stepsisters.
Absolutely.
There,
I love it.
yeah.
Hold the record for being longest time under probation.
That's impressive. I love that. Well, I'm very proud of you. So good. I'm so glad. Okay, so the listing presentation, there's lots of different parts and I can start or focus on any part that you guys are interested in. Is there anything at the listing table when you're with a seller that you want to discuss or go over? If anybody's got a spot, right? How do you start the conversation? How do you present the contract? How do you do the walkthrough? You guys tell me what you're looking for, just from the beginning.
Start with the beginning.
Okay.
Do you want me to be like aggressive? What do you want me to do?
I want you to, you can
To be
sit there.
be kind, easy, or to be like,
Oh, I want you to ask me hard questions.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you can come up with your own personality. Love this. Role playing's my favorite.
me too.
But I'm gonna start with your Rich's cousin's friend, which is actually true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our connection is Rich's not really cousin, does my hair, who she married a guy I went to high school with, which is weird.
Yep.
And then Lauren is her best friend. So that's how we all got together.
Yes. And that's how initially Erin had told Christine that I was studying for the exam, and she said, have her pop into my Monday prep classes.
Yeah. So good. So that's our basis. I know you, but don't know you, right?
Yep.
Like we met that one time, but like
Yep.
we're strangers, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm walking through the door. Oh my gosh, Lauren, it's so good to see you. How you been?
Hi, Erin. I'm doing well. What about you?
Oh, I'm so good. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
Excited to get going with you and talk about getting the house sold.
Yes, I have to get it sold. This has to be like
We can move
this.
fast.
Yes.
That's no problem. Let's do a quick spin through the house so I can get a feel for what we're working with.
Okay.
And then we can sit down and talk over the plans, okay?
Yep.
Great. So I'm gonna have Lauren walk me through the house. We're not gonna do that part.
Right.
'cause- But as I'm walking through the house, the weird house to walk through, I'm doing a couple things. One, I'm listening to what Lauren's telling me about the house because she's with me, right? This isn't a solo adventure. I'm listening to how she's describing the house. Is she telling me that this bedroom is 14 by 16 and the bathroom renovation cost $8,245? Or is she saying, I bought this bedspread at Home Goods 3.7 years ago, and I love it so much. And do you see the little flowers? Right,
That's more my vibe.
right. So I'm listening to her, I'm trying to pick up keys on her personality type and how this how home sale is going to go for her, right? Is she detail oriented? Is she more feelings based? That's I'm going to get a lot of information
Mm-hmm.
as I'm going through the house. I'm also looking for flaws, right? What's the flooring like? Is the drywall in good shape? Is the paint in good shape? I'm also mentally noting or physically noting, depending on, how serious it is, items that might be attached to the house that we need to talk about whether we're including or excluding them. Lauren, you have how many babies now?
I have 4.
4 babies. I love the babies.
Mhm.
And your daughter's room is so cute.
It is adorable. That's
So-
her own style.
Yes.
Mhm.
And these curtains are so cute. Are these going to stay here?
So she wants to take those.
Okay.
So we were going to take those, but leave the blinds that are underneath.
Totally fair. So things like curtains, especially in kids' rooms, your first baby, you spend so much time decorating that nursery, right?
Mhm.
And everything matches just so. The second child, not so much, but the first baby's room is always just so. And I don't want a seller to get a bad taste in their mouth because I didn't think to ask about the mini princess chandelier, right? That they picked out when they were 4 months pregnant and they're really emotionally attached to. So we're walking through the house, looking at things. I'm also going to ask for, ages of different items. So furnace, water heater, air conditioner, roof, windows, and mentally noting all of these things as we go through, right?
Yep.
Wonderful. Yes, dear.
For the chattel, for chandeliers, things like that, do you say, hey, if you want to keep it, why don't we just take it down now and replace it so we have less exclusions?
Yes, especially with light fixtures. I recommend they swap them out before we get to pictures. I think it's just easier for everybody. That way we don't have a buyer walking through falling in love with that same dang princess chandelier, right? Because people get hung up on
Things you can switch out.
decor and little things. Washers and dryers, we get big feelings about washers and dryers. And then decor, and that's fair. A buyer walks through and sees the house and they're picturing their daughter with that princess chandelier. And we want to make sure we remove all of those rough sticking points, as many as we can, right? Because real estate is human and we need to remember that, but especially the younger generations. Sorry, as an elder millennial, we're the worst collectively. Give me a boomer all day. Sign me up to work with exclusively boomers, and I'm great. The dang millennials. Anyways, the millennials and younger, even boomers and Gen X, we expect instant gratification and we like things to go just so. We like things to go seamless. We're used to hitting a button on Amazon and something can be delivered within 6 hours sometimes. So removing any of the rub or as much of the rub as possible is really important, right?
Mhm.
Right, so Lord, we're going to sit down at your kitchen table. You're likely going to offer me something to drink, and I'm absolutely going to say,
I was going to ask you if you wanted coffee earlier.
you're so sweet to me.
Would you like coffee?
I would love a coffee. Thank you so
Okay, I have it from Brighton Coffee House.
much. Oh, so good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's magic. So there's certain psychology points, right? When you're in someone's home and they offer you a beverage, they feel better if you say yes, right? They want you to feel comfortable in their home and they want to feel comfortable in their own home, right? Another thing I didn't touch on is I always ask if they'd like me to take my shoes off.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
Always, every single time. So I grew up in Canton, which when I was younger was very much so like Livingston County. And the older I got, the more diverse it became.
Mhm.
And shoes off houses became more and more and more common, right? You don't walk on Miss Nancy's floors. In my house, my parents' house, right? You don't walk in there with shoes. But I had plenty of friends that were shoes on houses. So making sure that you're respecting someone's home.
Mhm.
We know that I think it's 86% of sellers meet with one agent and say yes to that agent, or they hire the first agent that they meet with. But with the internet today and the sellers being quite savvy, there's a chance that they're meeting with multiple sellers. And if you make one false step, that could be the difference between them choosing you and another agent, right?
Mhm.
And shoes on or shoes off could be it. I also try to wear like socks or something, or bring slippers. 'Cause
Next.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not,
It's
weird
weird.
matching. Yeah,
It is weird.
I'm always like white and black. Socks, it's so inappropriate.
I also do the mismatched sock thing on a regular basis, but it's a thing.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm on time. I am prepared
I literally
every
probably wouldn't care
single
because
time.
of that. You can't get her fucking socks together. How is she gonna with my mom?
So we all have
I'm
like
so judgy.
little scripts though, right?
Yeah.
And I went on a listing appointment this weekend and it was a last minute thing. It was a referral and they said, well, we can meet today. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll come, but I'm coming straight from my son's football game, so I'll be extra casual. Not that I'm a super, you guys all know, like you see me. And so I apologized for being particularly casual. And I said, listen, I will always be on time. I will always be prepared, but I sometimes will very much so look like a mom. And that line is one I use often. And they love it because they know that when I'm with them, they have my undivided attention, right? And I'm completely there for them. I'll be prepared. I'll be on time. And just don't ask the last time I washed my hair. If
You don't want to know.
if you don't want to know the answer. Okay, so Lauren, thank you so much for having me. First things first, I want to talk about where you want to go. I want to talk about your real estate goals and where you're going to live next.
Mhm.
That way we know what our goal is and we can work with that in mind.
Yep.
So tell me, where do you want to live next?
I want to be closer to my kids' school in Brighton. So
Okay.
right now I'm in Howell
Mhm.
and the drive has been sort of an issue.
Sure.
So I would like to be closer to Brighton. It could be Brighton Howell.
Okay.
You know, like that in between area.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. So if it's still Howell schools, their school choice, that's fine.
Okay.
But I would definitely like to be like a 10-minute distance from Brighton High School.
So Brighton High School is going to be our
Yep.
center point. And 10 minutes in the morning, like for high school drop off?
Yes.
Okay, because that's really important because it can be 10 minutes to Brighton High School at noon, but
Right.
6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. is a different conversation.
Yes. In the vicinity within 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. That's super helpful.
Mhm.
And how urgent is it that you get there?
Pretty urgent. My kids have been late this is true, every day this past week because I'm 25 minutes away from their school.
Do you think you're really going to go?
No, I just bought a house,
I
so no. But I'm like very regretful.
Okay, so you're done with the commute. The kids are late every day. That's a problem.
It's a disaster,
Okay,
quite frankly,
that's
yes.
Super fair. Now you've only been in this house for 5 years.
Yes.
And I know you really like it. Tell me what you love about this house.
I love that we have the 5 bedrooms. So
Mhm.
each kid has their own bedroom. And then when my oldest goes to college, she'll have a little space and privacy when she comes home
Yeah.
for different holidays and whatnot. I love that there is a fenced-in backyard for my dogs.
Mhm.
So I would definitely want to be, if I have an HOA, I want to where I can put in an iron fence.
Sure.
I don't want a chain link fence. I don't want a white picket fence. I want an iron fence.
Solid fence.
So that's important to me. I also love that it is under 550 price wise. So I want to stay under in that. And my house would be contingent upon my buy would be contingent upon my sale.
Okay, we have to sell this.
So
one
we'd have
first.
to have a contingency.
If I could pick this house up and move it to that circle by the high school, like that 10-minute range, would you live here again?
Yes.
Is there anything you would do differently?
I'd be open to a first floor master.
Okay, wonderful.
I'd be open to that.
The kids are big enough now.
Yep.
Wonderful.
I would even do honestly a ranch if it worked out.
I love a good ranch.
Me too.
Love a good ranch.
Mhm.
Good. Anything you must have in your next house that you don't have here?
I would really love a bathtub in my master
I
bathroom.
love a tub. Okay,
Yes, but it's not a deal breaker.
Okay, perfect. And you said up to 550.
Yep,
Excellent. Have you been pre-approved for a mortgage yet?
I have been.
Excellent. Who's your lender?
It is Dexter Foos.
He is
First
the
name.
sweetest.
He's so sweet.
He really is the sweetest. Wonderful. I love working with him, so that's great.
Mhm.
When I'm asking who her lender is, one, I'm fact checking that she actually did it, right? If she can't come up with a lender name, sometimes they're like, yeah, I got pre-approved, and they didn't. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I'm listening to hear who it is, right? We know that real estate's hyper local, and I'm never going to try to convince a client to change lenders ever. But what I will say when she tells me she's pre-approved with
Chase
Rocket,
Bank.
what?
Chase Bank or.
Chase Bank.
Yep. How would you respond to that?
Rocket.
Yeah.
Chase Bank. Oh, we'll do Chase, right?
No, I definitely need you because I have 2 issues right now with, well, one's actually more prominent with lenders.
Okay,
My deal is,
messy.
oh gosh, yes. So how would you set the expectation that using a preferred lender helps it go smoothly without being pushy?
Here's my script.
Okay.
So Lauren, oh my gosh, Chase Bank, I have been banking with them for, gosh, 20 years. And I will tell you that they have an amazing reputation for banking. In the real estate community, they don't have the best reputation for their lending. And let
Why
me
is
tell you
that?
why. They're just really cumbersome to work with, and the communication sometimes is really frustrating. My job is to put together an offer on a house that we're going to buy and present it to the listing agent, right? And then the listing agent, we want to help them be able to take it to their client, their seller, and sell their seller on our offer. So my job is to make the package look as pretty as possible
Mhm.
so this listing agent can go sell it to their seller, right? There are plenty of real estate agents who don't like working with Quicken or Chase, insert bank, on the lending side. If you want to work with Chase because you've had the relationship with them for 100 years, you absolutely should, and I want you to. My recommendation is we get you pre-approved with a second lender, a local lender to Livingston County. And when we write your offer, we submit both pre-approvals with the offer. That's the prettiest package that I can put together. Because that shows not only has Chase said, yes, she can buy a house, but also Dexter, who lives in the community, is well known, has also looked at her file and says she can buy the house. So that way the listing agent with confidence can say, this is a solid deal.
Mhm.
And then you can choose to use Chase if you want to. Now the punchline on this is if she gets pre-approved with Chase and Dexter's going to beat Chase's numbers by a landslide, and his communication is going to be better, and Dexter's going to win the deal, right?
So you may
And-
set it up to win without having to interject so much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And truly, if I, as a listing agent, receive an offer with a Chase pre-approval or a Quickie pre-approval, USAA, Navy Fed, we have a list. I'm groaning, right? And the first question I'm going to ask the buyer's agent is, can this be fixed? Right? Because my job is to get my seller to the closing table. And this is the list of banks that have given me trouble getting to the closing table. What year did you get licensed again? 2008. Greg and Lisa, did you guys ever have a Quicken deal die at the table where you had clear to close and then Quicken said, just kidding?
No, but I had some that I thought
Yes.
might at the table.
Yeah.
I had a 7-time extension.
I was like,
7 freaking times.
Now, let's give Quicken a little credit. They have come leaps and bounds.
There's only one way to go. It was only up.
Valid.
They're really good on their education though, for their.
Yes, their scripting is,
officers. They really are.
I love working with lenders who used to be with Quicken.
100%.
Those are my favorite.
Yes.
They got out and now they're working somewhere else. So give them some credit there. And like Chase Bank, my go-to lender for a couple of years was Dave Navraki at Chase Bank. Dave Navraki, I had known since high school. Dave Navraki, I would go sit at his house or go to his mother's house if things weren't going well. But that was the only reason that things went well, right? Totally calls mom. So that's my script. I'd like you to get a second pre-approval with a local lender.
Okay,
Or if you're in the middle of a deal that's really sloppy, like you are,
but it's too far gone.
is it?
We can talk about this another time. I
Well-
don't take up all the time.
Let's just assume it's not too far gone.
Mhm.
Hey, say I'm the listing agent, you're the buyer's agent. Hey, Lauren, this is a mess. And I know we want to keep this deal together for our clients. We need to flip this to a new lender. Let's agree mutually on a lender that we both love, that we can ship this to, because this is not going to work.
I'd agree, but he made my clients, see, this is what's happening. My clients pay a $350 condo cert fee for a detached home.
Like a single family home.
He ordered a full condo cert. That's not gonna come back from condo cert. That's not gonna come back until Friday. We were supposed to close Monday, so underwriting still has to go through all of it. Yeah. So that's why I did not realize the importance of a good lender until I was involved in this particular situation.
And I literally tell my clients that. I was like, you don't know what you don't know until you need it, and I'm telling you.
And this is a guy, this is a guy who I know, it wasn't my recommendation, but I do know him. They chose him, and this is what he does full-time. So I will say, like, I wasn't necessarily worried because it was a full-time loan officer.
That,
Doesn't matter.
they're not all created equal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you're pre-approved, blah, blah, blah. You agreed to get a second pre-approval
Yep.
from somebody. Great. Excellent. So that's going to be your next step, is to make sure that we get those 2 pre-approvals so we're ready to rock at any time.
Okay.
Now, your house is contingent, the purchase of your next house is contingent on the sale of this one.
Correct.
Do you want to start house hunting before we put this one on market? Or do you want to go ahead and put this one on market and assume we'll find the correct thing?
What is your recommendation?
So here's my recommendation. I'm going to put together a search right now in front of her, right? Okay, look at, there are 50 different options that fit the criteria that you and I discussed. That tells me you're not looking for a unicorn. That's an excellent start. So what we're going to do, we're going to schedule the photos for this house. Insert date that we both agree on, right? We're not going to put it on market until we start house hunting, going to try stuff on and make sure that there's some stuff that's going to fit right out in the market, right?
Mhm.
And once we see that we're heading in the right direction and there, what you're looking for does exist, we'll write an offer contingent on the sale of this. And we'll submit our offer with the 2 pre-approvals and the photos of your current house and the market analysis that I've done on this current house. And that's a full package that the listing agent can see that will go to market with this one within 24 hours. And they know that we're not crazy, the house will be priced correctly, and the photos are already done, and it's a beautiful home.
Mhm.
That's my recommendation currently. This conversation changes depending on the market, right? The market's a little bit softer than it was. We can get away with a contingent offer more often than not.
So
Right.
what would your recommendation be if you didn't want to have a contingency?
Then
Would
we
you-
need to go to market and just ask for 60 days of occupancy.
And then would you try to delay closing on the house that I'm going to purchase?
Mhm.
Okay.
We're also going to have a really strong conversation of, Lauren, you might be homeless.
I'll just be living with you.
I did that once.
No, you did not.
Real quick story. I had a crazy buyer, batshit crazy.
That's how you're still.
Right.
Yes, I was a child, okay? And she was going through a divorce. Everything was very dramatic. She was a hot mess express, but I was too young to know better. And there was going to be like 2 days where she was going to be homeless. And she's like, I can stay with my mom, but where is my 19-year-old son going to go? He can't come to the house. And like, this was a very dramatic situation. I'm like, he can crash at my house for 2 days. Why? Like, what do you, like, calm down. And this beast of a child, man-child, I let him crash at my house for 2 days. It was a disaster.
And you've never done that again.
It really was.
Yeah.
Again, I was too dumb and young. Never again. Never again, obviously. Never do that, anybody.
Just don't
No one in here is that young. As young as I was. then,
Right.
Or dumb. I was cute, the cutest. Okay, sidetracked.
I do love.
You know, when I
that.
look at the table, things are a little, there's more of a flow to it.
Sure.
Also, this is my listing presentation binder. I brought a couple of copies. You're all welcome to see it. I have a page, and I only made 5 copies, but you're welcome to toss them around. There's a
Thank you
page
to
in
review.
here for most everything. And this is a living document, right? So there's stuff in here that's constantly being updated.
How do you try to update? Just kind of depend on how the market's changing, or?
Truly, like, because I don't use every page every time, right? So I'll be flipping through, and like, if I notice that Maddie popped, like I was flipping through after August of last year and found like the commission sheet. Oh shit, we should probably take this out. Things like that. So it's not until I'm at a page, I'm like, oh, like, I actually hate that lender now. He doesn't belong in here. And it's always at a table, right? But we just keep an eye on it. And then we add things in too. So like, this is one of my favorite sheets, and this sheet came out for a long time and it went back in. This is so simple. This is the only sheet in this entire package I designed myself. And you can tell. Girls never changed it. I don't know why. So this is my triangle, my pricing triangle, right? It takes three things to sell a house, Farron:
Mhm.
price, condition, and access. If our triangle doesn't have three sides, it doesn't function. So if we're not, if we find that we're on the market and we're not getting showings or we're not getting offers, we have to figure out which side of the triangle is missing. And we know that if we have no showings for 10 days, we're at least 5 to 10% off on price. And if we have no offers after 10 showings, we're 1 to 5% off on price.
Wait, did it? Oh, that's not. How you figure like
Those are just stats that I have no clue if they're still accurate, but they were once upon a time, and it's in the zone.
There's
for
enough
sure.
of white still must be true.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have the very latest, but that's the zone. And we know that if a house isn't selling in the appropriate amount of time, so when we do a market analysis, right, we're looking at a range of prices, and we're also looking at how long are homes in that neighborhood taking to sell.
Mhm.
So I've got a listing on 7 Mile right now. The expectation is a property on a main road is going to take longer to sell. So if that doesn't sell in the first weekend, we're okay,
Right.
right? But if you have a house in, what's a hot neighborhood? Oak Point, that sits on the market for more than 2-3 weeks, well, you probably have a price or condition issue, right? So knowing what the accurate days on market is for that listing going in. And I will be honest, pre-COVID, I had a lot more confidence in the data, right? I feel like the market's been much more volatile and less predictable
Yeah,
post-COVID. Would you agree?
100%.
Lisa, would you agree?
Less predictable.
So that works. But that little triangle has helped me have a lot of conversations. It's also, Lauren, okay, you want to list this house for $650. That's cute. My comps say $575. Great. We're going to have that pricing conversation with that triangle right now.
Mhm.
All right, Lauren, what do you think your house is worth?
I don't know what it's worth, but I would like to financially be at around 650 so we can be at 600 for
On the
wiggle room.
purchase side?
Yep.
Okay. And so you're looking for 650 to walk away with a certain amount?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair enough. So I did a market analysis, and let me tell you one thing. So I asked her what she thinks the house is worth. Some agents will have a pre-qual phone call and already know that the answer to that,
Mhm.
right? It's not a question I've ever asked, not never. I rarely ask it because I'm working with mostly Sphere, right? My pre-qual is a lot less heavy because at the very least I'm going to see a friend of a friend. But Dominic and Bill use a pre-qual script that they know what the seller's expectations are. So she wants 650. My numbers are telling me 575 all day. So we're 75 grand apart. Some agents wouldn't have come to this appointment being that far off. But I'm willing to take a look at it. Sorry. So Lauren, I absolutely appreciate that you want to net that amount of money. Do you have a mortgage on the house currently?
I do.
What do you owe? Do you know?
I owe 450.
450. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to do quick math and I have a net sheet already to confirm that she's going to walk away with a certain amount. Okay. So
Is the net sheet already based on your 575 number that you looked at?
So my net sheet's going to have 3 numbers on it.
Okay.
It's going to have a lower number, a high number, and a middle number.
Okay.
Because unless even like my best friend's houses, right? Like, how much time are you spending in your best friend's houses?
A lot, some of them, only like one a lot.
Right. But
Yeah.
like other ones less so. Like
Yeah.
we're picking up kids, we're dropping off kids,
Yep.
we're hanging out maybe in the living room, in the kitchen, but like I don't know what her bedroom looks like. I haven't seen it since she bought it. Right?
Yeah.
So even if it's a house that I'm really familiar with, I'm rarely going in with my realtor eyes on
Mhm.
and need to see the house more, right? Okay, so what do you think the house is worth? You want to walk away with 650? Great. Let's talk about what the market looks like. Here's my market analysis. The house is worth what someone will pay for it when we go to market, right? So we can want $1 million, we can want $500,000, but doesn't matter until we get on market and see what the market will bear. Fair enough?
Mhm.
Based on my market analysis, which takes into account all of the sold listings that are similar to yours, the active listings that are similar to yours, we have a range of 550 to 585 here. So 585 was the most expensive sale in your neighborhood in the last 6 months. I actually went back a year just to make sure, and there wasn't anything higher in the prior 6 months either.
Mhm.
So that means we have to be $65,000 nicer than the most recent highest sale. Do you recognize this 123 Main Street?
I do, but my house is so much nicer than theirs, and I did so many updates, and their house, I walked through it, it is not, it was gross. They had like cat pee in it and stuff.
Yep.
So I feel like my house is better because of that.
Sure.
And I also had an agent that came through and they told me we could definitely list it for at least 625. So can you tell me why your number is so much lower than another agent that I spoke to?
Absolutely. So I didn't get a chance to walk through 123 Main Street when it was on the market. So the cat pee is really surprising, especially because it sold so quickly and so fast.
Yeah,
but
maybe they don't have good scent to smell.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So the agent who told you 625, did they physically come through the house?
They did. They said that I did a great job maintaining it
Mhm.
and that I just am an elite homeowner.
This sounds like a real
You get
conversation.
you get people who seriously do.
Oh, no.
That is why I'm coming on so hard, y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
Understood.
Well, I'll have to agree with them. Your house is absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Here's the gotcha in today's market. We can list it at 625. If you want to list for 625, we can do that all day. And I will confidently and joyfully market your home at 625. Pause on that. I've had conversations where I'll say, I'll list it at 625, and then they don't hire me because they said, well, you weren't confident in 625. Well, yeah, no shit, because the numbers don't agree with it. So I'm really quickly having an internal dialogue. Do I want this listing overpriced? Will I take it? And there are some listings I will absolutely take overpriced, and there are some listings that there's no way in hell I'm touching them.
Yeah.
I'm gauging our relationship, her ability to see reality, her motivation to get moved, right? Motivation's huge.
And I do have big motivation because
Yes.
I'm wanting to be closer to school.
Her kids are late.
My kids are
every
gonna-
single day.
They have that letter that comes that says that they're,
Truancy?
yes, they have that.
You're gonna be the bad.
They
one.
don't really, but yes. In the,
Too early
they
yet
do.
in school.
Me like 3 weeks of that.
Right.
You're close.
Right.
So I'm quickly doing the analysis. Now let's take this conversation a different way. Lauren, I want you to get top dollar for your house. I
Mhm.
really do. And because we have the relationship with Christine, you being taken care of is really important to me. And I got to tell you, I don't think I can get you 625.
Mhm.
I don't think I can. So if that other agent confidently can, I'm going to have to respectfully bow out and send you back their way.
Mhm.
Because I want you to get every penny you want. And I don't want you to make you promises that I can't keep.
What is your experience? Because I know you've been an agent longer than the last person I talked to, so I am taking that into consideration as well.
Sure.
What is your experience with overpricing a house
Mhm.
in the market that we're at currently?
Sure. So you can start high and make adjustments, but those adjustments have to be very quick.
Mhm.
So we will know within honestly the first few days, but on the long end, 7 to 10 days on market, whether we've missed the mark. And we need to react very quickly and adjust to a realistic price within those first 7 to 10 days. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting on the market through Christmas.
Okay, and I can't do that. So
No.
I may have to come back and think about a lower price to work with you because I don't have that time.
Sure. So if you wanted to list at 625 today and would pre-agree to dropping to 575 within 7 days, I would take the listing. But unless you're willing to agree with me now that you're willing to do that, I'm not the best fit for you. And that's okay. We can still part as friends and still go out for drinks later today
Yes, that sounds great.
and sign here.
Yeah, so what I was gonna ask, do you have something that you have them sign saying that they will agree to dropping, or is that a verbal?
So I have in the past had predated price reduction sheets. And it depends on the client, right? Like sometimes if they're going to be tricky, I will be tricky. Sign here. Right.
That they agreed to that.
And depends on the rapport we have, depends on the personality types. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Okay.
I also have, the market's been up for so long,
Yeah.
right? Most sellers are thrilled because they're walking away with stupid amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had to have that as much.
Okay.
And I haven't had a fight on listing price in a while.
Okay.
My listing, Thetford, is a great example. She's tricky, my seller. She's the woman who got me into real estate. I've known her since I was 10 years old. Giant personality. She is an elite homeowner. She is an elite homeowner.
Yeah.
Abby did the open house for me. Her house is perfect. Her kids are perfect. Her husband is perfect. Everything that she has is the very best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her and I oddly agreed on 625. What did we list? Oh no, 825. 825.
Yeah.
You're missing $200,000.
Her and I agreed on 825. Her husband wanted to push for 875. I'm like, okay, we'll give Buddy a shot because he's the sweetest. But her and I are on the same page. She's the tricky one, so we're good. And we were on market for a week, no offers, tons of interest. I'm like, shit. We finally get an offer and they came in at 840 cash.
Mm.
And I'm like, she's gonna lose it because they're 35 grand under. Luckily she took it, but
Oh.
you're basing it on the personalities, right? And she's one that I would have pre-sign a price reduction conversation.
Oh, you would have? Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you just base it on the relationship,
Mhm.
who it is, their personality.
And like, how stuck are they on that higher number,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Is it a want or a feeling, right?
I feel.
So do you gauge that answer by you giving them the facts and what you looked at with your comps and the information that you give as far as being on market too long at a high price?
Mhm.
And then you see how if they back down
Mhm.
and if they listen to you as an experienced agent,
Yep.
but if they keep strong, then that's when you say like,
Yes.
we're not the right fit.
Yeah, and I already tried to tell you no, right?
And
then
I
you said,
wanted
okay,
you.
Oh, well, you're more experienced, right? So you're already seeing the cracks in your own logic,
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, that angel baby agent had been licensed for 6 months
Right.
compared to my 20 years of experience. Like maybe
Mhm.
Erin is right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing the cracks in your own foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're on the same page, and I think there's a little bit of light there.
Okay.
Right.
And that's where I'm willing to take you on at 625 for 7 to 10 days
Yep.
max. And then you're coming all the way down to 575
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to work with me, that's the plan.
Okay.
And I'm reading your body language, I'm reading your responses. This is also another plug for taking somebody else on your listing appointments, right? The best listing appointments I've ever had in my life are with me and Dominic or me and Bill, right?
Now, why is that?
Because I'm jabbing, right? I'm going over my numbers, I'm in my market analysis, and Dominic or Bill are watching the body language, they're watching the tone, they're watching the reactions, or vice
Who
versa.
do you introduce them as? I know Bill's on your team, right? And then Dominic, do you just say like
Partner.
business partner? Okay.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, take anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will go on an appointment with, it doesn't matter who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously safety in numbers too.
Sure.
I work with mostly Spear, so I'm not
Right.
Right.
a fear
I like
of
that idea.
going somewhere. But if you're going on stranger appointments,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. My brothers used to go with me all the time.
Oh, okay.
Vegas used to go with me. My first dog.
It also makes you seem
Bigger.
superior because they're like, oh, well, people are training you, like shadowing you.
Yeah.
They look up to you. Clearly, you're somebody to learn from or somebody to trust during this process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
I take my husband when we were doing it together because he's like that type A engineer and I'm
Mhm.
not.
Right.
And he would, communicate and get in line with one of either the husband or the wife better than I would.
And if you've got two, a spouse pair,
Yeah.
and one's going to be more drawn to me, one's going to be drawn to Billy.
Yeah.
So that helps when they're interviewing multiple people, then they're talking, right? Oh, well, I loved Erin. She was great. Or,
Yeah.
the blonde was kind of much, but Bill was great.
Sure.
The
Sure.
blonde was
Funky little blonde.
Yeah.
She's a little over caffeinated. So true. So that really helps.
So we've talked about all of this, but I have not heard what my percentage is. Am I able to, like, my aunt sold a home 6 months ago and she didn't have to pay the commission for the buyer, the buyer's
Absolutely.
agent. So do I have to pay that commission for the buyer's agent?
Mhm.
And what is your commission rate for
Absolutely.
me?
Thank you so much for asking that. So I'm glad you've done your research on it. So prior to August of last year, we had what was kind of combined commission rate, which would be what you would pay the listing agent and the buyer's agent in one package. And, that was typically in my market, 6%. That's what I would charge, and I would share half of that with the buyer's agent. Post August of last year, we've decoupled the commission. So I charge 3% to list your home. That includes all of the photography, marketing, advertising, all of my services, comes out to 3%. And then, okay, let's pretend this is the method for this house, because I have different methods for different homes, okay? And this is the method I'm using for most of my listings currently. I am not currently advising my sellers to offer to pay us any specific amount to a buyer's agent. Now, with that being said, most 9 times out of 10, a buyer and buyer's agent are still going to ask you to pay their buyer agent commission. But I'm not recommending you have a set amount at this time, because that is part of the negotiation with that buyer and part of the package of their offer. So the price that they offer us, the inspection terms, the lender, the appraisal, and their buyer agent commission are all part of the offer. So I'd rather negotiate it on a case-by-case basis. I am finding that most times that's having my sellers save money versus offering a preset amount.
Understood.
Now let's asterisk this. Let's pretend Lauren's house is a shithole, right? It's a hot mess express. It's in a less desirable part of town. It's in a less highly ranked school district, you name it. It's going to be more of a challenge to sell. Lauren, that's a great question. For your house in particular, we need to motivate buyers and their agents to bring us a great offer. And one way we can do that for your home is to offer 3% off the bat to a buyer's agent. And I can make sure to advertise that, and buyers and their agents are going to be super motivated by that to come to your home and write us a great offer.
How are you able to, agent question, how are you able to advertise it?
So I can't put it in the MLS. Right? That's the only place really I can't put it. I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of, but that's the big one.
You can post it on social media and whatnot?
You can post it on social media. You can reverse
didn't know that.
prospect and call every single
I knew
agent.
you could like
can
say verbally.
email. You could. That is the lamest thing I've ever seen.
So at that point, they're already at the house to see it, so the client's already interested.
And
It's driving by though, too.
driving by, but it's also kind of in poor taste. Like
Sure.
things you don't talk about at the dinner table, like money and politics, right? Religion's on there. It's just, it's cheap, it's tacky, and you're assuming they're already at the house. So if in the wide world of the internet, that's not our best way to get somebody in the door.
It's like marketing your listing in a newspaper.
Correct.
nowadays.
Which you could do if you wanted to.
So that's
So it just really depends on the property. I've had a seller pay 0 to a buyer's agent because I told the agent that there was no set amount, and he was very upset. I'm like, well, put it in the offer. It's okay. Like, hear my words correctly, man. And so he wrote an offer with 0% buyer's agent. I'm like, okay, fine by me, because I have the seller. And come to find out, his buyer paid him 1.5% directly. So I saved my seller 3%.
Right.
I win.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of 2.5 on the buyer's agent, right? So if I were pre-offering 3, I'm not acting as a fiduciary to my seller and netting them the most amount of money. Right. And let's be clear, this took me a while to come around to as an agent's agent, right? The balance between my fiduciary duty to my seller and the duty I feel to not destroy the industry is a big one. It's a weird balance. And I think we need to train buyer's agents better. And my sellers are netting more because of the quality of agents as a whole. Let's see if there's any questions on here before. We got 2 questions. Hi, Carrie. And she loves the listing presentation from Maddie. Yes, she's the best, the cutest. All right, we only have a couple more minutes because I have to jet to listing. I crammed myself in real good today. Any other dialogue that you guys want to have around the listing presentation?
I had a tricky question recently.
Sure.
I had a seller ask me, Oh, I would rate their house from 1 to 10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How did you answer?
Oh, I thought about it for a minute,
Mhm.
and then I said 7, which I instantly regretted.
Why?
Cause I felt like it was sort of insulting. And I feel like I could have gotten around the question, but I just was caught off guard.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, and yeah,
So when it comes to, that's a weird question for a self.
yeah.
So that's a pre-qual question I'll ask people, you know, somebody whose house I haven't been in or haven't been in a long time. What kind of condition do you think your house is in? From 0, we need to burn it down, to a 10, it's Pinterest perfect, we couldn't do another thing to it. So I would spin it around on them and ask, well, what do you think? That's a great question. I've never thought about it. While I think about it, you tell me your ranking. Also, if you've ever been in a class with me where there's ranking options, there's no 7s allowed.
7 is not allowed.
7's a cop out, which is a totally valid cop out.
But I
in
would,
this
I would have,
individual
I would have said 7 in my head too.
Yeah.
7 means like good, but like not, in my opinion, 7 is good, the least offensive answer if it's not an 8, 9, 10.
Right.
7 is the least offensive because if someone rates your looks as a 7, you're like, ah, too bad. I got some room for improvement, but
I can drop a few pounds, but other than that, we're great.
Followed it up. It's like, we have a beautiful home, and as you took me through, you noted this and this and this and this.
Mhm.
Mechanicals are older, and this needs to be worked on, and carpet needs to be replaced. So I like followed it up with that.
Yes,
Sure.
it's a 7, but this is what it would take to get it to a
But
10.
I saw the face, and it was not good.
Yes, that's,
I did not
Get the listing.
no,
No? That's a weird question.
right.
7's a cop out. 7's a, I don't want to commit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. 8 means yes, 6 means no. 7's bullshit. Especially in the scenarios that I'm usually asking you to rank something on a scale of 1 to 10. Or I'll say that to buyers, right? Especially as we start house hunting. So we've got you two are a couple. You're the cutest, by the way.
Thanks.
And okay, guys, house number 1, we're done. I want you each to rank the house on a scale of 1 to 10. No 7s allowed. You're allowed to have different numbers. No 7s at all.
Well, correct.
And then I'll add in 1 means you want to run away screaming, 10 says you want to buy it right this minute. Tell me.
That's an 8.
I like to
Okay.
give them at
I'm-
the same time. So I give them the.
Go
Ready,
ahead,
set,
say goodbye.
Cause then they,
Yeah,
two,
then
they
they-
copy each other's number, just like make the other one feel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even though that, you can tell that one really didn't like it, but.
Yeah.
that
Like
one
you
made it feel-
liar.
Well, I was gonna say 9, honey, so
Okay. So we're
Yeah.
close.
we eat our legs together. I'm just clammy, I'm
You're
sorry.
having a reactor. And then if we're off, like you're a 10, you're an 8, we're not so far off, but we're in the same zone. So Erin, what would it take for you to make this house a 10? What would you change that would make you say yes today? And let me tell you the most common answer. Well, this is the first house we saw. I didn't want to say 10.
Yeah.
So that tells me you love it. You're just, you
Stuck
want
on
to
it,
go
you can't
shopping.
focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most common answer.
Yeah. I have a good rebuttal to
Mhm.
that one, that I use, and I even do this in one of my pre-qualifying calls also. I'll say, listen, it's actually really common for a lot of my buyer clients to purchase the first one or one of the houses on the first day that we see, because like you and everyone else, they love real estate, right? So you've been looking
Mhm.
like on Zillow, Realtor, what have you, right? This was the first house that made you get off your butt off the couch and call me to go and see it because it actually met every single piece of your criteria. So why wouldn't you want to offer on it? You know, and then that kind of like calms them down. So I'm like, you've been looking for how long? For years, and this is the first time that you've actually called me to go and see a house. Like,
Well, I
it's not
think-
the first one that you've actually seen. It's the first one you've seen with me. I'm like, but there's a reason why you called.
Right. Do you think that that just like calms the nerves of
It
them
does.
thinking that they're making a purchase decision?
Absolutely, and because of it's been ingrained in us, right, to shop around, to not buy the first one. I mean, from our parents, like, well, let's just,
You gotta
you
take a
know,
look
no,
at it.
right, you gotta see what's out there,
Right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I also tell them too, I was like, I bought my house, my last house, 7 years ago. I'm like, I still have my own portal set up, and nothing better came along. Like, so I'll tell you that too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's if it's right, it's right, you know. But
I
yes,
swear, the client regrets not buying the first home that we saw together, and I use that example all the time.
100%.
Was it just because it was the first one?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Mhm.
But that's literally the one that gets them off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's true.
Years later, still, that's a quick question. In this scenario, you had a price in mind when you went to her house.
Mhm.
But is there ever a time when you don't have, or you have a range?
I always go in
And
with a
once you
range.
Get there.
I always go in with a range. So I use the CMA in Real Comp, which gives me a low, medium, and high range. I will cater it a little bit. Usually I go in with a straight CMA with no bias, right? But if I know, like, I've been in Lauren's house a lot and it's raw, I'm taking off some of those higher end comps. Or I know that it's pristine. I'm like the listing photos I'm heading to in a minute. It's a very well kept house. There's some dumps in the neighborhood that are just not, even though size wise and age wise they're similar, they're just not comp. So I've taken those out of the market analysis. But I usually go in with a range. And then we're also talking about money versus speed. So sometimes it's, I think we could get 575 for your house, but it'll take 30 days.
Sure.
You said you want to be to Brighton in a month.
Yes, like I
So-
want to close.
I think we need to list you at 550 for speed, right? So I go in with a range, a net sheet that's got three, the high, medium, and low represented, and then condition is going to help guide me. So I'm thinking there's a lot of internal going on as we're doing the walkthrough, as we're doing the chat, and I'm making really quick decisions live. I will also do a two-parter, right? So the listing appointment I went to like kind of last minute on Saturday, I didn't have time to do a market analysis.
Sure.
I was coming straight from football. We destroyed Howell Silver, by the way.
Oh, right.
Thanks. It's their first year as a team. 18 of the 20 children have never played tackle football.
Oh,
Our team won the Super Bowl 2 years ago and almost won last year. It was not nice. Anyways, Declan even carried the ball, Abby.
Oh, sorry, I was.
Declan carried the ball for like 8 yards.
Of course you did.
He doesn't usually carry
I
the
know,
ball.
but I see Nancy's post, so I'm very up to date.
It's
with
fine.
his football stats.
Anyways,
Sorry.
I got distracted. Oh, so I did not bring a market analysis to
Yeah.
that. They're also 3 to 4 weeks from listing. So the next time we meet, it'll be what we call a two-parter. I'll bring the market analysis and go from there.
For mortgage payoff, since they're not doing remine now, where do you find that if you haven't asked them?
I asked them, yeah.
Before you go, obviously.
Sometimes I'll do my net sheet without it, and then I can very quickly subtract what they owe. Addition and subtraction is one of my strong
Love
suits.
it, just find that.
It was
That's
handy,
really
but it
nice.
wasn't always accurate.
Okay.
Um,
They didn't have sometimes like refis,
mhm.
lines of equity.
HELOCs. Yeah, stuff happens. Was this helpful, friends?
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, great.
yes.
Especially your verbiage, like, cause you get so stuck in your own
Mm-hmm.
routine and what you say, it's always nice to see someone else's. So
Mhm. And I
like,
definitely,
hold it, you know?
yeah. And I say things like making the offer prettier.
Mhm.
And then I second guess myself, like, is that not professional enough? And then you said it too. So it gets me that, like, you got to read who you're working with. If
Sure.
it's a engineer guy, I maybe won't say sparkly and pretty. I'll say we have to make it more interesting for
Most
the,
appealing.
yeah, more attractive, interesting. But I do say like pretty. So then I think, am I not professional? So that was helpful, like hearing how, because that's your
It's your
personality.
personality, and
And that's my personality.
most people who are working with me know me.
Sure.
They know that I have lots of real estate agents who complain that, well, my cousin didn't use me to buy a house. My, my past client chose to use a different agent. And that's going to happen sometimes, right? And I always ask them to look internal, right? Is it you? And it might be, it might not be, right? Are you acting like a safe person in your social circles, right? Am I professional when I'm out for drinks with the girls? No, I wouldn't say I'm professional, but I'm also not a gossip,
Yeah.
right? I'm not a lush, I'm not passing out at the wine bar. So I'm a safe person for them to trust their largest asset too, right? But I also say I gotta go potty, right? So
Right.
they know who I am, and there's a balance there. I'm not showing up in a suit, but I'm professional, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes, you lose the deal. Your brother buys a house with your aunt.
You don't have time to get into all of that before you're listing pictures. And that should be over cocktails.
Yes, absolutely. So things happen. It's fine. I'm fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
I'm fine.
He's still in trouble for that, by the way.
Correct. You should be. It's your brother.
And my aunt.
You was your aunt.
No.
Remember,
What?
your other aunt still.
Oh, she's allowed to FISBO. So that's another thing, like my aunt, Wendy and Uncle Dan, they have always not used agents, even like they had bought and sold several houses before I got my license, right, when I was a child. And they still to this day mostly choose to buy and sell their own homes. But I understand that like Dan and Wendy aren't going to sell me business. They are my #1 fans. They love me. They support me. They actually did let me list that little house on Chicago on Thompson. But God bless Cassie. Thank God for her. Cassie, I got to tell you, I'm working with your aunt and uncle. I'm like, what? You're working with my aunt and uncle? Carissa, not Cassie. But Carissa. And they had FISBO'd their house, and I didn't see it because I wasn't looking for a FISBOs and no buy. And Carissa was the buyer's agent. Because at first I'm like, it's fine if they don't use an agent, but if they use an agent, they have to use me.
Sure.
But she was the buyer's agent, so it was okay.
I go to the, Erin, but I'll also.